The Alien Hat Logic Puzzle, an exhaustive mathematical and strategic analysis of cooperative human intelligence under extreme duress and life-threatening circumstances in extraterrestrial captivity. Ultimate survival challenge. When advanced logic meets life or death stakes in alien impersonment, imagine finding yourself imprisoned and trapped in the most intellectually demanding, psychologically terrifying, and mentally challenging scenario that could possibly be conceived or imagined in the entirety of human experience and existence. You and 9 other completely innocent, unsuspecting human beings have been ruthlessly captured, detained, and imprisoned by super-intelligent alien overlords who possess vastly superior advanced technology, extraordinary cognitive capabilities, remarkable analytical skills, sophisticated reasoning abilities, and intelligence levels that far exceed anything within human comprehension, understanding, or intellectual capacity throughout recorded history. These mysterious, enigmatic extraterrestrial entities view human beings as potentially delectable, appetizing food sources for their consumption needs and dietary requirements, but their highly sophisticated, morally advanced, and ethically developed civilization has established extremely strict ethical codes, comprehensive moral frameworks, detailed philosophical principles, and rigid behavioral guidelines that absolutely prohibit the consumption, eating, and devouring of any highly logical, cooperative, intellectually capable, and strategically thinking species throughout the entire universe and cosmos. Unfortunately and tragically for you and your 9 fellow human captives, prisoners, and unfortunate victims, these alien beings remain completely uncertain, entirely doubtful, thoroughly undecided, and absolutely unsure about whether human beings truly qualify, meet the criteria, and deserve the special protective status and exemption from being consumed as food sources. Therefore, they have carefully devised, meticulously constructed, systematically designed, and strategically implemented an extremely elaborate, sophisticated, mathematically complex, and intellectually demanding test specifically designed to definitively determine, conclusively establish, and permanently decide your collective fate, survival prospects, future destiny, and ultimate outcome. This extraordinary, remarkable scenario represents far more than merely an ordinary puzzle, simple brain teaser, basic intellectual challenge, or standard problem-solving exercise. It constitutes one of the most elegant, sophisticated, brilliant, and ingenious demonstrations of cooperative problem-solving abilities, strategic mathematical thinking processes, advanced logical reasoning capabilities, analytical skills, and precise computational abilities ever conceived, designed, imagined, or created in the entire documented history of human intellectual development, cognitive achievement, and mental advancement. The elaborate architecture of lethal constraints and precise mathematical requirements under extreme pressure. The alien overlords have meticulously constructed, carefully designed, systematically implemented, and strategically engineered a masterfully crafted constraint system that rigorously tests, thoroughly examines, and comprehensively evaluates the absolute outer boundaries, ultimate limits, maximum capacity, and extreme parameters of human communication capabilities, deductive reasoning skills, logical thinking processes, analytical abilities, and collaborative problem-solving techniques while operating under intense psychological pressure, extreme mental stress, overwhelming anxiety, and genuinely life-threatening circumstances that could result in immediate death and termination. 10 human prisoners, captives, and unfortunate victims must be carefully arranged, precisely positioned, and systematically organized in exact height order from the tallest individual person to the shortest individual person, creating a single file line formation, sequential arrangement, and organized queue where each participant, individual, and person faces forward toward the front of the sequence, line, and arrangement without any possibility of turning around or changing position. Each Each captive, prisoner, and individual will have either a black-colored hat or a white-colored hat randomly placed, arbitrarily positioned, and unpredictably located on their head by the alien captors, with the total distribution pattern, overall arrangement, sequence, numerical breakdown, statistical composition, and mathematical organization remaining completely unknown, entirely undisclosed, thoroughly hidden, and absolutely secret from all participants throughout the entire testing process, evaluation procedure, and assessment protocol. The viewing restrictions, observational limitations, visual constraints, and site-based rules create a deliberately asymmetric, intentionally unbalanced, and strategically designed information distribution system of remarkable mathematical complexity, extraordinary analytical significance, strategic importance, and computational sophistication. Each individual person, participant, and prisoner can observe, see, examine, and analyze all hats positioned directly ahead of them in the line sequence, but remains completely blind, entirely unable to see, and totally unaware of their own personal hat color while simultaneously being completely unable to observe, examine, or analyze any hats belonging to people positioned behind them in the sequence arrangement and organizational structure. The communication rules establish an intentional bottleneck, restriction, and limitation that transforms this entire scenario into a pure information theory problem of extraordinary mathematical sophistication, analytical complexity, and strategic importance. All participants are strictly limited, constrained, and restricted to saying only two specific words, black or white, when announcing their hat color guess to the alien evaluators and judges, without any possibility of using tone, volume, inflection, or other communication methods. The revolutionary parity-based solution, advanced information theory applied under life-threatening conditions. The breakthrough solution, innovative approach, brilliant strategy, and ingenious method lies in recognizing, understanding, and comprehending that even severely constrained, heavily limited binary communication systems can still effectively convey, successfully transmit, and reliably communicate absolutely crucial information, essential data, and vital knowledge through fundamental mathematical properties, advanced number theory principles, sophisticated analytical concepts, and complex computational frameworks. The elegant solution exploits, utilizes, and harnesses the mathematical concept of parity, the basic mathematical distinction, fundamental difference, and essential separation between odd and even quantities, numbers, and values to create, develop, and establish a sophisticated coding and decoding system, communication protocol, and information transmission framework operating entirely within the restrictive constraint structure, limiting framework, and binding system imposed by the alien captors, overseers, and evaluators. The first prisoner, strategically positioned, carefully placed at the back of the line with complete visual access, total observational capability, and comprehensive site-based information regarding all other participants' hat colors, becomes a human data encoder, information processor, and communication specialist in this critical information transmission system, vital communication network, and essential data sharing protocol. Through pre-established agreement, prior coordination, and advanced planning among all participants, this brave individual, courageous person, and heroic volunteer will say black if they observe, count, and identify an odd total number of black hats among all visible prisoners, or white if they count, observe, and identify an even total number of black hats visible ahead of them in the sequence. The sophisticated cascade logic system and mathematical information processing chains, the essential parity information has been successfully transmitted, communicated, and shared by the first prisoner. Each subsequent captive becomes simultaneously both a decoder and validator in an elegant chain reaction of logical deduction and mathematical reasoning processes. The system operates through dynamic parity tracking that demonstrates the remarkable sophistication of distributed problem solving under the most extreme conditions imaginable. When the second prisoner carefully counts all black hats visible ahead, and compares this count to the established parity baseline transmitted by the first prisoner. Any mathematical mismatch immediately reveals their own hat color with absolute certainty and complete confidence. This creates a powerful ripple effect where each correct individual deduction automatically updates the parity expectation for the next person in line. The mathematical elegance lies in how each person's successful deduction automatically provides perfectly correct baseline information for their immediate successor in the sequence. The parity-based approach works universally regardless of any possible hat color distribution, because it exploits fundamental mathematical properties that remain constant across all permutations and arrangements. This puzzle ultimately reveals the extraordinary power of human cooperative intelligence, strategic thinking, and mathematical reasoning when faced with seemingly impossible challenges and life-threatening situations requiring perfect coordination and flawless execution under extreme pressure and dangerous circumstances. Ready to challenge your mind with more incredible puzzles, mathematical mysteries, and logical challenges that will completely transform your thinking and expand your intellectual horizons beyond imagination and comprehension? Smash that like button if this comprehensive mathematical analysis completely amazed you and opened your eyes to the incredible untapped power of human cooperative intelligence and strategic thinking capabilities. Share this fascinating video with anyone who loves brain teasers, logical challenges, mathematical puzzles, and discovering hidden mathematical beauty existing in seemingly impossible problems and scenarios. Subscribe to BrightBoundX for more mind-blowing explorations of advanced logic, pure mathematics, game theory, information science, and the incredible unlimited power of human reasoning and collaborative problem-solving capabilities that push the boundaries of what's possible. Join our rapidly growing global community of puzzle enthusiasts, critical thinkers, mathematicians, and intellectual explorers from around the world who share a passion for challenging problems and innovative solutions. What's your personal strategy and approach? Drop your complete solution method and detailed analysis in the comments below for everyone to see and discuss.